Hello, my name is Brandon Jones, and this is week 4 of Jettisoned, my Capstone project. So we'll go into the game. I've increased the size of the input panel for the minimap that we'll see in the next phase. I put down my start object. Also, you cannot continue the game unless you've built both, or you can't go into the infiltration until you build a start place and a save object, because those are necessary to complete the game. You have to have those. We'll put down some walls here and here. Maybe a couple traps. And we're out of money. So not enough currency. I've had these things come up for when something goes wrong. Like you either don't have enough money to put something down, or if you haven't got either of these things. Alright, so we'll start the game. And as you can see, we have up here a mini map for what will be the enemy player, but for now we're just displaying our position for a proof of concept that it works. Alright, so we can move around, and once again we had scanning as before. You can now disable objects, so we disable that trap. Once we step on it, it no longer does anything. We'll step on that trap too. So we've disabled them. We go forward. You can see it changed up there where we were, so we'll go back and just show that off. So whenever we change rooms, it will change the minimap. This is done using a render texture. The minimap is actually way off screen to the left there. So moving forward through this thing, we have this wall here. We can't move through the wall now. The walls actually matter. So we'll disable it and continue on. You can't just walk into the saves anymore. You have to actually disable them as well. So once they're disabled, they're turning blue right now in the game. When we actually have assets, it'll be an open safe, and then you'll see that you can walk into it and pick up whatever's ever in there, which is the fuel cell. At some point I'll have some kind of indicator for that. So once again, you can't move through this wall from either direction, so we'll have to disable that. We can't disable diagonally, only you have to be adjacent to the thing. So we'll go in and we will then finish the game. Real quick, I'll go back into the game and demo the disable to make sure, or to show that you have to be directly beside something and you can't kill something that isn't visible. So we can't get this, it's not adjacent. We can't get either of these traps because they're not near us. We can get the wall. We'll do a scan. Now that the scan is active, we can disable these things. Once again, we can't disable those. We can't disable something, even though this is a tile object, it's not active, so we can't actually disable our exit point. So we can disable that, grab that. Once again, the minimap is up at the top, here, and we can move through rooms. So all in all, this is a pretty complete, other than once you disable, a mini game is supposed to start up. This is getting to a point where we're about good. Okay, so going into the code briefly, we have our infiltration logic. Okay, so the minimap, whenever a player, let's open up the minimap, or the map itself. Whenever a player has changed rooms, a set room function is called in the game map. And then the game map then tells infiltration logic, hey, inform the other player that I just changed a room. This normally would call a networking call to pick up on the other end, on the enemy's side, saying, hey, this guy changed rooms. But for now, it's just calling itself, informing our minimap that the room has changed. So that's generally how that works. So like as soon as this goes and changes out, it should quickly be able to work for the enemy minimap, or the enemy map rather than yours. So it should be a pretty simple change out. that is about it as far as the code goes. We're using a render texture for our mini map, and something I found is that there is a bug in the Unity code. If we go into build settings and we run on Android, you can see that Android and render textures do not play nice in Unity as of now. Um, if we run the game, we'll see that our beautiful minimap that was there previously is now blank on the Android um, build. So this, I spent a great deal of time debugging to try and figure out why this was happening. I thought originally I was in Android mode and my render textures weren't working, and I spent a great deal of time before stumbling across why it actually was off, was that it wasn't in Android mode, and then I learned that on PC mode it was fine. So this is an Android bug that I've been told is being fixed in a late patch, but until that happens, I'm going to try and find, oh, sorry, wrong one. I'm going to try and find a workaround uh, to make it work properly in the Android build. But until then, this is what we have. All right. Until next week. I'll see you guys later.